It's about 1 o'clock U.S. Central Time, so we're going to go ahead and get started. We actually have a great audience today, and I can already see some of our current customers, and looks like there's some folks that are prospects and taking a look at the differences in our products. So welcome to you all, and thank you for joining our webinar. So look, we just recently launched our new professional product, and we're very excited about it. So what we're going to do today is highlight some of the features, tips, and tricks, along with some of our new AI-enabled workflow tools. Let me introduce myself. My name is Sam Philippi. My team and I work with our potential professional and enterprise clients and work to find a fit for their data and analytics needs. I'm also joined by Ellen Goodwin, one of our directors here in the United States. And Ellen is actually going to take us through the introduction and actually dig into the meat of the webinar. So we will be taking questions throughout, so please put them in the chat window and we'll handle those at the end. Ellen?
Thanks so much, Sam. Hi, everybody. This is Ellen with Knoema. And like Sam said, thank you so much for joining us, both to our current and prospective subscribers and some current clients as well from our enterprise side. We are very happy to be showing you our new Knoema Professional subscription. We're going to walk through our personalized workspace, some new data features for all of you, as well as the launch of the AI-powered workflow tools that speak to the very foundations of why Knoema exists. We'll also show how this all plays out for you within Knoema Professional. For those of you new to Knoema, I just want to take a quick moment because it's interesting to look at our co-founders and the unique view of data that became Knoema. One was a PhD economist who wanted to eliminate the daily burdens he dealt with in finding, updating, and working with data as an economist. And the other is a tech visionary on the edge of data analytics, machine learning, all of it, and has this mission to make the world's data discoverable and accessible. So today, Knoema Professional offers you that and more to save you time by bringing you 2.8 billion time series of the world's data from more than 1,200 sources and the tools to work with it with ease. So with that, let's dive in. I'm already logged into my Knoema workspace. So as a professional or free user, you're going to have a workspace that looks very similar to mine. The only difference might be that if you haven't indicated your industry when you signed up, this module here on the landing page might be blank. We really encourage you to go ahead to your settings area, which you have over here on the right-hand side, the account details, or follow this little cog to change your industry and actually set it. So right now, I have mine set to crops. I can browse the latest data that's brought in according to crops for the industry. I can also take a look at what's coming soon. This is our little indicator to you that we're bringing in data all the time. Every single day we're bringing in dozens of new data sets, as well as updates to those that exist. This service to you is what we hope you'll find invaluable. Not only what we already have in the system, but what we're bringing new and maintaining. You're also going to find here trending data. This is a nice way to take a look at things you never expected we might have. We have a surprising array of data, I think, that even for the most data geek among us, that is very exciting to take a look at. I've been creating some dashboards, so you can see that I have my dashboards. We're going to go into that a little bit later. I also have my opportunity here to download the tools that I mentioned to you that are AI powered and available for both Microsoft Office, Word, and Excel. If I were to close this banner, don't worry, you can always access it again from Data Finder over here in our Tools menu. I can also see what I've been looking at recently. This is really helpful. I actually use this module probably as much as I use any of the others, or if not more, because I log in and out a lot, and I want to kind of pick up where I left off. And that's either going to be with a dashboard or something I was looking at the last time I was here. On the other hand, when I'm collaborating, I tend to go into my bookmarks a lot more. I'll take a look at data that I had bookmarked because I needed to come back and discuss it, or into a page that I had bookmarked. Finally, we offer you the data insights from Knoema. We publish regularly on a weekly basis these data insights. They're partly for inspiration, showing off the latest data and visualization tools to help you get started, but also just keeping you abreast of current issues that we're following at Knoema and bringing in new data to support. While we're here, I'm actually going to pop over to Data Finder. When you come here, you have a how-to video that might be a nice walkthrough for all of you that are brand new and considering whether you want to download the free version to give it a try, Or if you're a professional subscriber and you are going to download it, I hope, and you want to just kind of get a quick view of how it works, I strongly recommend starting with this video. I have already downloaded my versions from the Microsoft App Source, so I'm going to pop over to those now and give you a little insight into how those work so that once you get started, you'll be more comfortable with that environment. The idea with these tools, I'm going to turn on, I'm here in Word, I'm going to pop over here, open up Data Finder, so I'm ready to go. The idea is that it will surface the data while you're actually working. Brent crude oil prices in April of 2019. Now I have a little bit of a background in oil and gas, so I tend to use a lot of these examples, forgive me if you're from another industry, but you can do the same in your industry. As I typed, it already brought up some interesting results. Obviously, I could see 2019 data from month 4, April, right here in the source. World Bank. That's interesting, but maybe I'm actually more interested in this result. It brings me IMF data all the way out to 2024. I'm actually going to go with that one. I'm going to insert that chart so I can use it in my page as I start building my work. I also want to grab a description. This is an auto-generated text information about the trend that's displayed in this chart. You can see basic information about that trend line in that description. Now, I did it by typing, but you have another option too over here if you're someone that prefers to just start searching. So if I'm interested in fossil fuels in general, not just oil, let's say I want to look at coal prices. I can add that into the search, hit enter, and it's going to start searching for that as well. What I would like to point out is that as I scroll down here, you can see it's giving me alternate sources for similar time series data. It's also giving me information about other fossil fuels like natural gas and oil and other commodities, since obviously coal is a commodity just like cereals. And furthermore, I can go into a lot of different time series that mention coal as a time series along with prices. Now let me pop over to Excel. We have a slightly different experience in Excel. We designed it so that you could put the data in front of you and work with it as you would any other data that you've been using previously but have had to gather and maintain tediously on your own. Now you're going to be able to use Knoema's data here. Crude oil prices, to stick with our example. So I want the system to bring up any of the, oops, excuse me, I just scrolled away, any of the crude oil prices. Over here, I can see the Brent price in US dollars 2018. I have alternate sources from BP, OPEC. Here I have the dollar in 2017, a historic series. I have a current price for 2019. Any of these would be viable. I'm going to pick one of them here. And there's the trend information. If I want to use this World Bank data, I can go ahead and insert that data into my sheet, and I'll have access to it. I can keep going. I can say, you know what, I'm also interested in natural gas prices. As I work, Data Finder is going to continue finding that data for me, and I can keep popping it in to build my workbook. Obviously, for all of you experienced with working in Excel, you'll probably find that you're going to very quickly like this because you can work with any of the data that you're used to, build your pivot tables, create your econometric models in here, and continue working as normal. And now I have a couple time series. Like in Word, you also have the option to do a direct search if you prefer to operate that way. Now, when you're working here, you can always go back over to Knoema if you want to find out more information about the same source. So I can click to explore data, and it's actually going to open up Knoema where you have full access to the data set that it came from. It's showing me natural gas, both for monthly as well as annual. While we're here, let's stay here. Back into Knoema, where you have a lot of options as a professional user at Knoema. The first feature that we've recently released, and I'm probably the most excited about at Knoema because I have a history as an analyst, is our new data alerts feature. Anytime you have a time series data, you can set an alert. So if I want to know anytime the natural gas index rises above a certain value, I can tell it to set an alert. Okay. And now I'm going to get an email notification anytime that indicator moves beyond the limit that I set. This saves you a lot of time. Historically, if I was watching, let's say, the production of natural gas in Nigeria or oil, I was watching because maybe the government said our target for this year is X. Well, I want to know if they hit that target without having to come back and check it every single month. Now I can do that. You're going to get an alert anytime that happens. But if I want to also just take a look at this anytime it's updated, I can follow the data set. And again, we're going to notify you both by email as well as in your notifications here in your left-hand panel whenever that information has been updated. Finally, I can bookmark this. Let's say I'm going to build a workbook and I want to have a full dashboard of commodity prices related to the energy industry. I can bookmark this visualization and instantly reuse it in a dashboard or a presentation. You'll also see that you can share any of this information by getting a link that will open up for somebody else this exact time series that you were looking at. This is a great way to collaborate. While I'm in this space, let me also show you something that is one of the more valued attributes for analysts. That is the details about this data set. Over here on the right-hand side, not only do we have the tools where we can download into a number of formats, including API feeds to go into different analytic platforms, open it up in the dashboard, download the visualization, but we have the details. I can see this is from the World Bank. I can see exactly where Knoema pulled it from, the frequency of the data, and the full date range that it covers. Now, each time series has its own range, but in general, it covers 1960 all the way to 2019. I can see the industries that's classified under Knoema, and I can also find details about the description of this database directly from the World Bank. Furthermore, as a professional subscriber, you have access to our full archive of data from this source. All of the revisions and versions that they have released since May 2012 are available here for you to access. Another great feature and one of the resources that I frequently guide new people to is the dashboards. You can see there are 80 different dashboards that are built on this data set alone. This is great for inspiring you on how to use it. And if you're new to Knoema, it's a great way to learn how to work with dashboards. So here I see this one about US sanctions hurting Venezuela. That's actually something I've been following personally in the news and I find very interesting. So maybe I want to pop into that dashboard and I can do so from here. And now once it's loaded, I can say, wow, these are really great charts. I want to use those myself. And I can go ahead and say, great, I'm going to bookmark these so I can use them in my own pages as I go forward. I can also say, no, I just want this whole dashboard. It's really useful to what I'm doing. I'm in the Venezuelan market and I'm interested in using this for my own purposes. I can save a copy of this dashboard. Go up here. I'm just going to save it with my copy so I know it's mine. I'm going to go ahead and save a copy, and now I can edit this dashboard and make it my own. I can provide some new analysis, and I have confidence that I can choose to have it automatically update so I don't have to recreate this every time I need the latest information. Now you can see here that it's saying it's ready for an update. I could update it, but right now I won't. I will show you how to automate that yourself. Now I have my own copy and I can edit this. You'll see you'll now have an edit option, or I can edit the text and remove it and use it. But how do I use those bookmarks that I just showed you? Let's go over here to build the dashboard. I showed you 3 of them that I really liked. Now, by clicking on the bookmark, I can instantly add those same visualizations to my dashboard. And now you're one step closer to some smart analytics of your own. Except, spell it correctly, please. Oh, we don't want to look at that. This is what I get for working on a Mac. Don't do it. Kidding. All right, so now you have your own smart analytics and you have your own dashboard. Click Save. Keep in mind that when you save a dashboard, it's automatically going to be in private mode. You can choose who on your team. So if you're a professional subscriber and you have a number of your colleagues that are also professional subscribers, you might want to share the dashboard with them. And this is a great way to collaborate, share your information, share your analytics, and refine your analytic line as you're working. You have a number of options too when you do share it. When you share it by email, keep in mind, you might give someone a read level, edit, or full control. If you give them full control, that means that they can also share this dashboards with others. Just like building dashboards, you can also build presentations. I won't spend too much time on this, but I just want to highlight it's the exact same features. So I can grab a bookmark and pop it into this presentation in the same way that I could build a dashboard. Add another slide, grab your next visualization, and you've got a presentation already on the go. Why would you do this? Just like a dashboard, a presentation can automatically update as the data is updating. This is the service that Knoema provides to you. We will maintain this data, and your presentation will therefore live on. If you create dashboards and you prefer they not automatically update, perhaps they are time sensitive by nature. So they were commentary on the markets in January of 2019, and you don't want to show April 2019 data in that. You can also choose not to have your resources update. If I do that, I can go into resources, my resources, into pages, where I can access all of my pages, and I can make that choice whether or not to have my dashboards update or not. Any dashboards that cannot update, this happens sometimes because a source might stop publishing a certain indicator or retire it, stop collecting that data. If a dashboard cannot update for any reason at all, it'll be here in your pending updates, and you'll have a red notification here next to it alerting you that you have dashboards that were unable to auto update. And then you can draw your attention to those. One last thing I'd like to show, and we're going to be producing a lot more of these going forward because of the overwhelmingly positive feedback. So a lot of people come to Knoema and they say, I'm not sure where I want to start. I'm going to show you two starting points before we go. One is our industry data briefs. We have a collection of them now, about 10 strong. And what we do is we go through all of the Knoema data resources for an industry and say, what are the most sought after data sets and indicators for that industry that we experience from the hundreds of thousands of users on Knoema and from our own baseline understanding of the industry. We put those into a single downloadable information sheet that is included in your subscription if you're a Knoema professional. You can subscribe to them or download them every single month. Each one is hyperlinked for easy access. So if you're someone that's watching the US economy and you want to just hop right here to the jobless claims that month, you can pop into Knoema and see that information. That might be your pivot point where you start following that data, set an alert, or put it into a presentation or briefing for your own use. Here it is already updated. And it's actually saying, you know what, this is perfect for a data alert. And I think it's right. I would like to follow weekly unemployment data and have those kinds of alerts sent to me. The other great starting point on Knoema is, last but not least, our search. We have a deep search capability that is designed, custom in-house, specifically for data, for deep search of data. If you start general, like GDP, we even provide great instant answers, where we're going to look globally and provide a ranking of GDP across the world. You can see instantly it's from the IMF and jump into that. You can view it on a map. You can embed this in your own resource, export it, or pop into the data set here as well. The more specific you get on your search, the more specific we're going to get for you. If I look at US employment rate, April 2019, and hit enter, you can see the very first result is from the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, and it's 2019, month 4. I can click here and just see the information in the time series without going anywhere else. Or I can go into the data result itself and I'll be able to work with the data just as I've been showing you. You might also say, I really don't want the time series, just who's publishing it? Tell me that much. I can choose to look at the data sets instead that cover the US unemployment rate. This is kind of how we help you start scoping because we do have a lot of data and I know it can be overwhelming. If I choose data sets, if I choose any of these other options, I also get access to this filter where I can say I only want to hear about this information from the US Bureau of Labor and Statistics. Whatever it is that source is your preference, and you'll get that information catered for you. So with that, I realize I'm pushing my limits of time, but I appreciate it. And I'm going to turn this back over to Sam, who's going to talk with you a little bit more about Knoema Professional, and he's going to also answer some of the questions that we've been receiving while I've been presenting. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Ellen. So we hope, and we know we covered a lot today, but we hope we gave some insights to our current users on some of the new features that we've just released, including our workflow tools in Word and Excel. And for those of you that are free users or just interested in what Knoema has to see, we hope that we gave you some insights and tips and tricks to get you started. So I'm going to start with a couple of the questions that are coming in through chat here. So, okay, so this one is, what are the differences between my free account and the professional account? I hope that we showed today some of those differences, but really, if we allow all of our users to search our database for free. So you can do things like search through the data sets, get those instant answers. But if you want to work with, and when I say work with, I mean manipulate, visualize, export that data, like we showed today, that's with the professional. Okay, so how much data do we have in our catalog? Great question. This is one that I always brag on. We have about 2.8 billion time series of data that comes from over 1.5 thousand sources. There's tens of thousands of different data sets. And so to answer those questions specifically around the data, that's another way that I would be happy to engage with you to find out what some of your data needs and data burden is, and we can kind of talk to you about specifics. So do we sell these subscriptions for teams? Yes. So what we're showing right here is the the differences for individuals, but we can also work with individuals that want to sign up for the professional product. We can walk you through that, but we absolutely work with teams on our professional product. And for that, we have different pricing as well. So I'm a free user. Can I use data alerts? You can, but we limit that. So we give you the ability to try one for maybe your most specific set or most important set of data, but you do have to go professional to do that. And so this is an interesting question. So yeah, Ellen gave a lot of examples of her background as an analyst. Is this mainly an analyst tool? And no, it's not. So we see all different types of users, from those in the education field, but to industry professionals like investors, researchers, analysts. And really what they're doing is several different use cases, but it helps them be faster and relieve the data burden, so they're not out there grinding through the web looking for data. They're actually have the ability to work with and analyze the world's largest publicly available database. Can I use Data Finder if I'm free? This is another one of those yes buts. Absolutely. We want people to start using this. So you can enable the Data Finder for free. It is limited to a certain set of data sources. So we want you to work through those and be able to see it. But to be able to work with the entire Knoema catalog, you do need to be a professional user. So based on that, again, we're extremely excited about our new product. We've gotten a lot of feedback from our current customers and prospects. So I would love to be able to engage with you, answer any of your questions. So if we are going to send out an email after this, and we'll provide my direct contact information. If we can help you and your team answer any questions specific to any of the products at Knoema, or walk you through a deeper demonstration as it relates to you, or if you're just ready to get going and get signed up, whether you're an individual or a team, and get your insights faster and streamline your workflow, you can contact me directly, and I will get myself or a relevant member of our team to contact you immediately. Again, I just wanted to say thank you today for everyone for joining us, and we look forward to the next